Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Tuesday, April the 29th. We're here to look at new releases that have been published this week. On Tuesdays, we look at thrillers and crime fiction. So, the darker side of mystery. And just a heads up, as I mentioned in the comments, internet is being wonky. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if you can actually hear me, but we will give it a try. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's look at, you can hear? Okay. The connection keeps giving me spirals. Thank you, Cajun. So, it's going to be slow going today because it's just not connecting very quickly. Like dial-up speeds. And I've rebooted my computer like 5 times. So it must be the internet. The interwebs. All right, first up, Heather Graham has a new one. Good morning, Kim. Good morning, Mary. Like I click on it, it takes like 5 seconds. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Can hear you loud and clear. Sorry I've missed yesterday. The antibiotic I'm taking is kicking my butt. Oh, no. You're okay. I click on your comment and it takes 5 seconds. Major solar flares going on. Look at poor Spain and Portugal. Yeah. We'll blame the sun. Good point. All right. We'll do the best we can. The Murder Machine, Heather Graham. Artificial intelligence meets genuine murderous intent. This state-of-the-art smart home has everything. A new generation entertainment system, an ultra-modern kitchen where every appliance is online and has a personal AI to control it. Never in my house. Standing above its owner's lifeless body, FBI agent Jude McKenzie is faced with the daunting task of discovering how the woman was killed by her own home. How do you catch a murderer that doesn't leave any fingerprints? Enter Special Agent Victoria Tennant, whose familiarity with cybercrime reveals the stark truth. A machine can only do what it's been directed to do. As the number of grisly accidents begin to rise, the pair must race to uncover the perpetrator even as they find themselves caught in their digital crosshairs. There's nowhere to hide when danger may be as close as the very phones in their pockets. Timely. It says my disability doctor visit at 1 p.m. Please say a prayer. I'm sending you healing golden white light. It is going to go very well. And then you'll reward yourself and have a very good lunch. Mary says, good luck today, Kim. May the force be with you. Absolutely. Serial Killer Games by Kate Posey. What do you do if you thought your coworker was getting away with murder? Literally. Dolores de la Cruz has been dying to spot one in the wild, and he fits the mold perfectly. Strangler gloves, calculated charm, dashing good looks that give a leg up in any field, including fields of unmarked graves. The new office temp is definitely a serial killer. Jake Ripper finds a welcome distraction in his combative and enigmatic drinking game. New coworker. He hasn't come across anyone as interesting as Dolores in a long time. But when mere curiosity evolves into a darkly romantic flirtation, Jake can't help but wonder if finally he's found someone who really sees him Skeletons in the closet and all, until Dolores asks Jake's help to dispose of a body. Dot, 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 dot. Kim says, yep, lunch today. Yay! Sorry, I click on these things and it's like 5 seconds later it shows up. See How They Fall by Rachel Paris. Thriller. When Skye married into the wealthy Turner family, she thought she was entering paradise. But now, several years later, she remains uneasy amid the opulence of her husband's world, struggling with her own secrets and working to maintain a normal life for their young daughter, Tilly. Skye's delicate balance is undone when the family patriarch, Sir Campbell Turner, dies suddenly and an illegitimate heir comes forward to stake his claim in the luxury goods empire the old man leaves behind. Reluctantly, the Turners receive the newcomer at an intimate weekend retreat at Yalambi, the family seaside estate, but tempers flare and egos clash within their first few hours together, and the night ends in a tragedy that leaves one dead and another fighting for life. Sergeant May O'Connor is assigned to investigate the incident, and though her superiors are keen to close the case as swiftly as possible, the evidence just isn't lining up. Convinced that there's more to the suspicious death than a simple accident, May continues to search for answers, but pulling at these threads may just tear down the Turner empire. You know what? Maybe if I just do this. It does give it more to try to render, but I don't know if it's going to help either way. Julie Chan is Dead by Lian Zhang. Julie Chan has nothing. Her twin sister has everything except a pulse. Julie Chan, a supermarket cashier with nothing to lose, finds herself thrust in the glamorous yet perilous world of her late twin sister, Chloe Van Heusen, a popular influencer. Separated at a young age, the identical twins were polar opposites and rarely spoke, except for one viral video that Chloe initiated. Finding my long-lost twin and buying her a house. #emotional. When Julie discovers Chloe's lifeless body under mysterious circumstances, she seizes the chance to live the life she's always envied. Transforming into Chloe is easier than expected. Julie effortlessly adopts Chloe's luxurious influencer life, complete with designer clothes, a meticulous skincare routine, and millions of adoring followers. However, Julie soon realizes that Chloe's seemingly picture-perfect life was anything but, as everybody's is. Haunted by Chloe's untimely death and struggling to fit into the privileged influencer circle, Julie faces mounting challenges during a week-long island retreat with Chloe's exclusive group of influencer friends. As events spiral out of control, Julie uncovers the sinister forces that may have led to her sister's demise and realizes she might be the next target. They're not saying, but I would not be surprised if there wasn't a storm that cuts them off on the island, as it does. If Two Are Dead by Rick Mofina, and completing that quote, 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. Three girls go into the woods, but only one comes out. Driving alone at night in a wild rainstorm, Luke Conway strikes something, or someone. He and his wife, Carrie, recently moved back to Clear River to help take care of her ailing father, and after a tragedy at his previous job, this move is their last chance at a new life. Now standing in the downpour on this Texas road, Luke, an off-duty cop, has a decision to make, and he has to make it fast. No one else is around, no witnesses, and he can't find a body. Wanting to believe he's being paranoid, that he's just seeing things, Luke panics and leaves, deciding not to report the incident, but rather to secretly investigate it. He can't put more stress on Carrie, who's already haunted by the unsolved attack and murder of 2 teenage girls that happened years ago in Clear River, a horrific crime in which she was the sole survivor. The killer has not been found, but Carrie and Luke's anguished search for answers will slowly reveal the horrific truth. Funny, think you're right on the money with the storm idea. Always happens. Bearer of Bad News by Elizabeth Deany. For someone who hates secrets, Las Vegas hairdresser Lucy Ray is about to be faced with a whole bunch of them. After discovering that her fiancé has been cheating on her with someone from his improv class, she finds herself short on funds and desperate for a change of scenery. Enter a most unusual job opportunity, a bearer of bad news. Sure, it's a little weird. The job description has few details, and the bad news is more like a vaguely worded threat. But Lucy can't say no to the perks: an all-expenses-paid trip to the Italian Dolomites, plus a generous bonus if she proves she's delivered the message. Then she learns that her task is just the tip of the iceberg. Launched into a world of betrayal and greed involving 80-year-old secrets, stolen jewels, and a World War II-era mystery, Lucy is in over her head, and she's connected to her mission in ways she never saw coming. That's like being a professional objector, being a bearer of bad news. I could do that job. I wouldn't like to travel, though. A Campus on Fire by Patrick O'Dowd. When a shocking death rocks the exclusive writing program at a prestigious campus, a student journalist, Tess Azar, sets out to discover the truth. Rumors abound of the writing program's cultish atmosphere and its zealous members who will stop at nothing to ensure the sanctity of their own secrets. As an extreme right-wing student group swells in numbers, Tess finds herself in the crosshairs dangerously at the center of the growing chaos. Simmering into tension, this provocative novel portrays the nation's blah, blah, blah. Let's see, where are we? I'm going to open some more of these, giving them time to render. After Pearl by Stephen Enu. I'd like to somebody stood in line extra for some vowels. Apologize for that. Where are we starting at? 1942. War rages in Europe. Pearl Harbor still smolders, and alcoholic private eye Nicholas Bishop wakes up on a hotel room floor with 2 slugs missing from his .38 revolver. The cops think he's murdered lounge singer Pearl Duguay. Mobsters think he saw something he shouldn't have, and Bishop remembers nothing. Together with his indomitable assistant Gia Alessi, who he may or may not have fired, a World War I vet who often flashes back to 1918, and a one-eyed female dog named Jake, Bishop tries to piece together the events that took place during his disastrous 5-day bender. Along the way, he stumbles across a dirty politician, a socialite, and her unfaithful husband, and a cabal of American Nazis who are undoubtedly up to no good. All right, we'll go backwards. No Hill to Die On by Martin Roy Hill. Former war correspondent Peter Brandt's childhood innocence died the day his older brother Keith died in Vietnam. Now, a quarter of a century later, Keith's former fiancée, Rhonda White, comes back into Peter's life with an incredible claim: Keith may still be alive. 24 hours later, police find Rhonda's body floating in San Diego Bay. Is it murder or suicide? Rhonda's death and her claim about Peter's brother set him on an investigation ranging from the beaches and foothills of Southern California to the mountains of Costa Rica. The deeper he digs, the more mysteries he finds. Marines who fought alongside Keith don't remember how he died. A shady technology exporter bearing a doppelganger resemblance to TD, Keith's best friend, who also died in the same battle. A Navy investigator who covered up his probe of a major wartime black market operation, and a Costa Rican cop who may be more than he seems. And then there are the big questions Peter isn't sure he wants answered. Is Keith still alive? Did he desert the Marines and become part of the Vietnam underworld? And if he is still living, who did Peter's family bury 25 years earlier? Hello, Juliet by Samantha M. Bailey. Dana says, good luck today, Kim. And Mary says, and a partridge in a pear tree. I mean, why not? Everything else seems to be included. Indeed. I agree. Ivy Westcott fled L.A. as her acting career imploded. In a flash, she lost her first love and chosen family, her Hello Juliet castmates. But she never discovered who turned her closest friends against her. Now the whole world knows her as #Poison Ivy. A decade later, Ivy is horrified when a celebrity expose thrusts the Hello Juliet cast back into the limelight, dredging up the old scandals she hoped to escape. Desperate for a fresh start and some financial stability for her mother and manager, Ivy agrees to participate in a top-secret reunion episode. Ivy's poised for a comeback, but past betrayals become a present danger when she and the man who once broke her heart find their co-star dead. Determined to find justice and clear her name, Ivy must tear down the facades of cast and crew to uncover chilling secrets that have plagued the Hollywood set from day one. Or she could be the next one to die. Opening up a few more to let them shake out a little bit. Cold Burn, a National Parks thriller by A.J. Landau and Jeff Ayers and John Land. Perhaps these are all the same name of one person, because only one name is on the book. Second Walker series, book in the series. Oh, National Park Service investigator Michael Walker is battling smugglers stealing priceless artifacts when he's dispatched to Glacier Bay National Park in Alaska, where in the first stage of a potential global disaster, a team of scientists has gone missing. Meanwhile, in Florida's Everglades National Park, FBI Special Investigator Gina Delgado traces the murder of an environmental science intern back to another U.S. Geological Survey team's ongoing experiments that are decimating the fragile ecosystem. That is before she's dispatched to the scene of a sunken U.S. nuclear submarine, the entire crew of which has inexplicably been killed. The connection between these disparate investigations lies in a deadly prehistoric organism frozen for thousands of years in the ice until global warming brings it back to life. Whatever. In what could mean the death of all life on Earth. An organism that a rogue billionaire sees as the ultimate fuel source and a Russian strongman views as the ultimate weapon that can shift the global balance of power forever. Against that backdrop, Walker and Delgado find themselves desperately doing battle across multiple fronts against an ancient, unstoppable enemy. As I say, whatever. Wrongful by Lee Upton. When the famous novelist Mia Wallace goes missing at the festival devoted to celebrating her work, the attendees assume the worst, and some hope for the worst. 10 years after the festival, Geneva Finch, an ideal reader, sets out to discover the truth about what happened to Mira Wallace. A twisty literary mystery, blah, blah, blah. And we're kind of running out of time, so we might just have to look at covers. Polybius by Colin Armstrong. This says, if you're a fan of Stephen King and Stranger Things, this is the book for you. Based on the terrifying urban legend about a video game created by the government for psychological warfare. Shadows of Justice, a Topher Davis thriller. When a determined reporter and his homicide detective sister link the disappearance of a missing black woman to the highly publicized case of a vanished suburban housewife, they uncover a terrifying criminal conspiracy. Looks like it's set in San Francisco. I'll open these all up while we giving it time to render up. What He Left Behind by Benjamin Bradley. In this town, everyone has a secret they'd kill to keep. Set in North Carolina. When a stranger is found murdered in a cornfield, Detective Grace Bingham is forced to partner with Jacob Sawyer, a big city detective who broke her heart and fled the town years prior. Vatican Daughter, very timely, by Joni Erasi. Set in Roman Venice with a brief stop in Magallanes, Chile, and New York City. A whole lot of blurberage. A story of a young woman who relentlessly searches for her child while coming head to head with the most powerful entity on earth, the Vatican. Three Mothers by Hannah Beckerman. A heartbroken mother, a supportive best friend, a determined mom. A tragedy unites them, but it could also tear their families apart. Domestic suspense story with a final twist that will make you gasp. When 17-year-old Isla Richardson is killed in a hit-and-run incident, a community's lives are thrown into disarray. The Lying Man by Andy Maslin, fourth in Detective Cat Ballantyne's series. A famous victim, a locked room, dark secrets. For D.S. Ballantyne, murder isn't black and white. D.S. Cat Ballantyne came to the crime writing festival for an escape and said she's walked straight into a murder scene. As they always do. Taking Stock, 10th in the Kate Fox series. At the foot of the Rockies, Kate Fox and a billionaire lock horns. During her visit to the bustling National Western Stock Show in Denver, Kate Fox's business partner Aria Fontaine expresses a grave concern. She's worried about her cousin Jefferson Hansford, an enigmatic drinking game billionaire who recently went through a tumultuous divorce, etc., etc. All right. Well, that we made it through. I don't know how spotty it was. Every time I bring something up, it's just spiraling like it's trying to show up. Mary says she likes the cover of Wrongful. Yeah, I think I'm kind of drawn towards the Heather Graham, the AI kind of thing. That one's intriguing to me. And maybe Hello, Juliet. Maybe. We'll see. And Kim says, thanks, y'all. Have a great day. Good luck. Sending prayers again. All right. So tomorrow I closed down the coffee cup so that it wasn't interfering, trying to get as strong a feed as possible. Hopefully it's just sunspots or something. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Have a good Tuesday. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. Tomorrow we'll look at love, romance books. Many thanks. It all went okay on our side. Okay, have a great day and good luck, Kim. Absolutely. And you take care of yourself, Mary. Don't let those antibiotics kick your butt anymore. All right, thank you guys so much. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.